Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mitch here. Welcome back. So this is going to help you out when you decide on what kind of ship you want to take for your cruise, because we first started a few years ago. We weren't sure ourselves, right? Our first one was the MSC Seascape, and that was an incredible experience for me, at least, right? I know people have some, pros and cons about MSC, but I enjoyed my MSC first cruise. It was a really great thing. But what I realize now that the cruises and the ships and the lines and the companies kind of like cars, right? When you go to an old Ford car lot, right? You're not going to expect that old Ford to drive like the 2024 Mercedes, okay? So you kind of know what you're getting into. I think with ships, people don't really understand what they're getting into. So let's get right down to it. First, I'll call what I call the giants, the big boys, right? The big guys of the block. And so the first one is the Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean has over 27 ships there, 96,000 berths, so it's really a big cruise line, of course, right? The second one is a Carnival Cruise Line, very big, of course, 26 ships. My gosh, that's a lot, with 84,000 berths. I mean, that's a huge amount of ships. 26 for a cruise line, that's huge. Next one is MSC cruise ships. There's 22 of these big things rolling around the seas right now, right? With over 77,000 berths, okay? Norwegian Cruise Line. This I didn't know. They had 19 of their ships. I did not know this. These are the big boys, right? These are the big guys out here, right? They have over 56,000 berths, okay? Next one is the Princess. Now, I thought Princess had more, but Princess has 15 ships. I thought they had more for some reason, right? And they have 45,000 berths. Now, side note, the reason why I thought Princess had more is because why? Why do you think that's probably why for me? Because of advertisements. It seems though, of all the cruise lines I see advertising on normal everyday TV and on my social feeds, this cruise is always Princess, it seems, but I think Princess is kind of like what McDonald's does, right? People always say, why does McDonald's advertise when they're already number one? They advertise because they don't want you to forget the number one. That's why they do that, okay? So Princess, I think, is the same way. They're smaller, yes, we know this now, but boy, they sure advertise like they're the big boy on the block. I hear about Princess all the time. Number 6 is Celebrity. Okay, Celebrity has 16 ships and they have about 29,000 berths. And the last one of the big boys is Holland America. I knew America was kind of big, but wow, 11 ships. Had no idea. That's a pretty big amount, right? So they have 22,000 berths. So if you're going onto your cruise for the first time, these are the 7 big boys on the block. They are very huge. They have many ships in their line. And just something for you to know, these ones are the ones you most often hear about. Back to the Royal Caribbean, the Carnival, MSC cruises, and also the Norwegian. Those are considered your contemporary cruise line. So those are like your normal everyday cruise line, not like, oh my gosh, just a normal nice trip, right? But the bottom 3 in that list, the Princess, the Princess, Celebrity, and the Holland, those are considered like more of your upper notch type ships, giving you more quality, more of a classy experience. That's what they're all about. So there's a difference there in how they're seen. Just so you know. So the last 3 are like premium. Princess, Celebrity, and Holland. That's like a premium, and contemporary is more like your Royal Caribbean, Carnival, MSC, and Norwegian. So there we go, guys. And to help you break it down, now for me, really, I'd recommend if it was your first trip, at least for me, right? I'll speak for me. I kind of want to get everything. I want to experience everything, right? So you wanted to, if you're me, right? You want to get that mega resort type experiences, get that everything kind of feel. So the Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and MSC, they probably give you that really everything kind of feel. I know the MSC Seaside did. It had everything for kids, for adults. Every day they had a show on, really spectacular type amenities there on the ship. It was really amazing. So if you're looking for that, all these kind of things that keep you busy on the ship, those are the 3 for sure. Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, MSC. They're kind of like your floating mega resort. They have everything to keep you happy and content for the whole time, whether you're on the ship asleep, right, or whether you're awake. Something is always going on those ships because they really want to emulate the mega resort feel for you. All right. So when I talk about the amenities on the mega resort ships, right, I'm talking about the water parks, surfing pools. Yeah, surfing pools, kind of cool, right? Also, too, they have go-kart tracks on the ship, go-kart tracks, laser tag courses, wall climbing, even like a roller coaster type event, they have, that's what I mean by a mega resort, and so also too, these ships are so huge, they hold about at least 6,000 people or more. That's what I'm talking about when I say these are like your mega resort type ships and what they can do and how they can keep you entertained with that huge capacity of people as well. They keep you well maintained. They keep you happy. There we go, right? So that's what I mean by a mega resort ship. Okay, now if you consider the last 7 ships I told you about, think of those like a fully loaded Mercedes-Benz, right? 2024, I don't know, SUV Mercedes. All that cool stuff, the bells and whistles, everything in there is very cool, right? That is for one portion of the population, correct? Now you have people who think just the opposite. Their paradigm is different. They don't want to see a bunch of pools and they don't want to see a bunch of slides here and there. They don't even want to deal with kids sometimes, right? They want to deal with a more adult environment, not as, should we say, hectic, right? They want to deal with a more relaxed environment, right? So those 3 are usually the Princess is like that, Holland America is like that, and so is Celebrity. They're ones that just are not into that mega resort feel, right? They're into just, they just want to cruise, They don't want a lot of the fancy amenities, So if you imagine yourself, right? Let's use that Mercedes again. Okay, so one part of the country, people, cruisers want that Mercedes that's fully loaded, right? Everything in that car you can have. But then you have the other people who want, they want the Mercedes, but they do not need all the bells and whistles. They just want the nice car without all the electronic this and parking on its own this and cameras everywhere and, maybe make you some tea, who knows, right? They don't want that. They just want to have that other experience. Now I've had both. I've been on the Princess Cruise before where it's quite a difference. It's like night and day from the MSC Seascape to the Regal Princess. It's a different feel. It's a whole different deal there on both sides. I noticed that with the Princess Regal, the Regal Princess, come 10 o'clock, things got quiet real fast, right? But on the MSC Seascape, things were just picking up, It was like different, right? We were dancing like at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning on the MSC Seascape, my wife and I, and hell, we're in our 50s and we enjoyed it, right? But on the Regal Princess, though, there was none of that going on. There was something like a little club in the back, but not much happening there on the Regal Princess, But so there's your difference, Man, it depends on what you like. Me, I'm a laid back guy. I like both. I don't care, right? But it depends on what you like. But these 3, Holland America, Princess, and Celebrity, they're not about. They're not trying to have race cars on top of their ship and all these, roller coaster things. They're not about that. They're more of a docile type experience. Okay. Now I remember years ago when Hyundai first came to America. People were like, hee, laughing at it. And what a crazy looking car. It didn't drive nice. It looked ugly. People didn't like how it looked. It was like a joke, right? But now when I see Hyundai on the road, I think, well, that's a very nice looking car. Probably still affordable, but it's a very nice car. And so now you hear about it a lot, right? It's great. So these cruise lines are like, they're nice, don't get me wrong, but you don't hear about them a lot because these are definitely your more upper echelon type cruises. So what I mean, you're gonna pay more for these cruise ships. They're not huge like the ones I mentioned before, but they really cater to a crowd who can afford more or who want to afford more for their cruise. Okay, so let's get down to it. The Regent Seven Seas, you will pay more, right? But then again, you will get more. Okay, I was told that on the Regent Seven Seas and also the Silver Sea cruises. I know the Silver Sea cruises you get a butler, so that's what I mean by a different feel, of course, right? There's a Seabourn, another nice cruise line. Costs money, but it's nice though, right? We also get the Explore Journeys, also another one. Also too is the Crystal. So these ships are the ones you'll pay a little bit more for. So you pay a little bit more for. So you probably say, Mitchell, yeah, but what's the trade-off, right? The trade-off is this: you're getting a higher level of dining experience, right? It's much more higher level of dining experience. You're going to get usually in the cabin, a bigger suite, a bigger room. So they're not trying to really mass market. They're looking for that particular person in the country or a country, whatever, who can afford, I guess, more of a quality type cruise according to whatever their criteria of quality means. Now, if it means for you a bigger room, a more a suave dining experience, yes. Also, too, typically on cruise lines, it's for every 3 passengers, you have 1 service per person, right? 1 crew member, right? On these kind of ships, it's almost 1-to-1. So you're being serviced from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Someone's taking care of all your needs. So in the end, what this means, you get more of an intimate experience, right? You get more of it really feels like you're being catered to, someone's there for you, and you have, a really nice experience in the dining room, no long waits at all. People sit you down. It's just it's more of an elegant experience, So if that's for you, it's fantastic, Could it be for me? Yeah, I like it all. I told you before, I can do anything. I can go up here, go down there, whatever. I don't care, But if you're that kind of person, then this is for you. Those are probably one of the 7 ships that you might want to look at for yourself. And it's to each his own, I hate when people say, that's for certain kind of people. Well, yeah, it is, but we shouldn't be mad at them, If they want a non-kid area, they don't want to deal with, roller coasters on the ship, and that's fine. That's their deal, We're all only here once, so we all get to pick what we want to do, right? It doesn't mean we're bad or good. It just means that that's our choice, right? That's how it works, So those 7 give you that intimate experience, and yes, you're going to pay more for it, but hey, on these ships here, you pay for what you get. There we go, right? Okay, now I gave you the basics, the 7s, right? I gave you the top of the line, right? Now we're going to have what I call a middle line, the middle line, okay? These are nice ships, right? They definitely are different from the 7 I tell you before at the start of this video, but they're a higher quality ship. Higher quality service to you, okay? So here they are. The first one is going to be the Oceania Cruises. Those are definitely a little bit above the cut, of course. Viking for sure, Windstar Cruises, and Sea Dream Yacht Club. So those are going to be a nicer experience, a little bit more above the cut, right? Of course, again, you're not going to have these huge amenities on these ships. They don't have all these, roller coaster here and water park there. They're not designed for that. They really are designed for people, again, who want to have that. They want to have more space in the room, of course, less passengers, right? They don't want to be on these Icon of the Seas where you have 7,000 people
subscribe
in the middle of the ocean. They don't want to be one of those ships. They almost are. They're the opposite of that almost, right? They want to be more of the intimate experience type ship. Not as high level as, say, a Silver Seven Seas, but high level enough where you're catering to a certain crowd. You're catering to a certain person, So again, those 4 are very nice as well. They're just not as nice as, say, the Silver Seven Seas, okay? And now you have a particular type of cruiser here, right? I was going to say a particular set of skills like Liam Neeson. Anyway, I watched Taken last week, so I'm still in that mindset. I'm a tough guy. But anyway, so these cruises offer for a particular cruiser, and these are called your expedition cruises, okay? They're expeditions. So those kind of cruise lines are called Aurora Expeditions. You also have Quark Expeditions, kind of cool, right? Yeah, Seabourn again, right? Also Silver Seas too. So you're saying, Mitch, you just said Seabourn and Silver Seas earlier. Yes, I did. But they also have an expedition branch as well, so they kind of do both, And again, if you notice though, what they're catering to, again, a certain particular person, right? Because Silver Seas and the expedition part of their company is not trying to get the person on the Icon of the Seas who's got like 2 or 3 kids, and no, that's not what they're after. That's not their client, right? They want the client without that stuff, right? They just want a client who wants to go to an expedition, or they want that really high-class type environment where dinner is served at a certain time by a certain person. They have a butler. That's what they're looking for, Another expedition is a Viking. So, I mean, that's a certain type person who wants to go on the expedition catered to by the shipping company. So there we go, right? Okay, and then we have the river cruise lines. You're like, oh my gosh, more, right? So the river cruise lines are the Avalon. That's an awesome one, of course. Tauck. Tauck. I know I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm saying it anyway. Tauck, of course, you know. American Cruise Lines is a big one. Now, the thing with American Cruise Lines, I gotta tell you about, they take a lot of pride because they are made in America and sold in America and work, you know, it's all American made cruise lines. So I always want to tell people that when I hear this because it's part of the deal, right? So American Queen Voyages also does the river cruises. Also, too, the Grand Circle Cruise Line are also river cruises. So there we go. Very exciting stuff out there. You know, let's keep on going. Okay, this last one's like a subset, but these are your particulars. Okay, these are set up for certain environments and destinations on purpose, right? First one, Disney Cruise Line, of course, right? Disney fans and Disney families, of course. That's what they are all about. Virgin Voyages, cruises for adults only without kids. They don't want to deal with kids at all, so it's just for adults only. The Paul Gauguin cruises, those go only to the South Pacific. The South Pacific designated cruise line only. The Star Clipper, that's only for sailing fans. I mean, very particular people, right? Sailing fans, you know. Cunard. Cunard is only for the ocean liner enthusiasts, you know, the big old ships and they go across. They're Globetrotter type ships, you know, very huge. American Cruise Line, only U.S. waterways, specifically only U.S. waterways. American Queen Voyages, same way, only U.S. waterways, same way, right? Celestial Cruises, that's kind of cool. Only Greek and Turkey. They only go to Greece and Turkey. Very particular, right? Grand Circle Cruise Line. They're a very niche, small ship sailing. So they're not going to be this Icon of the Seas. Okay, remember, Icon of the Seas is about 7,400 passengers. These guys are maybe, you know, 1/14 that size, right? Because they're very particular. They're very set just for a certain type of person. Okay, so there we go. So I want to tell you guys in closing here, first of all, subscribe, please. Please subscribe to my channel. Comment down below for sure. I'd love to hear you guys comment about my videos here, about what we can talk about. Remember, this isn't a channel, this is a community. Everybody here, everybody counts. I want to have this be a community, not just a channel, okay? So I hope this helps you out because cruise lines are really like cars, the way I see it, right? The best way for me to understand this visually, I'm like a visual guy here, right? Is that if I'm looking for a car, you know, do I want a Ford? Do I want a Mercedes? Do I want a Volvo? And so the more I understand about the ship, the car, right, the better off I'm going to be. Because if I'm a guy with 2 or 3 kids, well, you know, I don't think half these ship lines are going to cater for me because half of them don't even have things for kids, right? So probably maybe a Disney cruise, you know, whatever, right? Who knows, right? And then, but if I'm a single person, right, and I don't have any kids at all, but say I'm single, maybe the other one, maybe the Virgin is good for me. Who knows, right? But if I'm a guy that kind of likes everything with a little bit, maybe a little bit of international flavor, the MSC would be great for me, right? MSC would be a very cool cruise line to be on, you know? So, I mean, it all depends, but I'm just trying to tell you, don't do what I do. Do your homework first, right? I mean, understand the cruise line you're getting into, you know, understand the amenities, what it offers. And also, too, remember, guys, they're all businesses. I don't care how pretty the ship is. I don't care how old the ship is, how new the ship is. Every cruise line is like a business, right? It's like an airline, right? And they're all competing, you know? And I'm telling you this, don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask for discounts. Ask for whatever you can ask for. They can only tell you no, right? But they want your business. They're not going to break their back, of course, but they want your business. And they know that because loyalty means a lot for these cruise lines, you know, and they want that from you. So don't be worried about asking for certain things you might want, okay? I mean, upgrades and packages, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. Ask for it, you know, and try to get a discount if you can, okay? So I hope this little rundown gives you a great overview of what these cruise lines are all about and what you're going to get into when you do it. But I can just tell you this, just do it. You know, you might not have every answer from my video or every answer from your gut, but you just got to dip your toe in the water, hop on one and see how you like it. The only way you're going to know if you like it is by doing it, right? You can watch all my videos if you want. I would like that for sure. But the only way you're really going to know if you like this cruising life, right, is just to cruise, okay? So there you go. You guys have a good day. Please subscribe to my channel. Comment down below in our community. We are a community. We are not a channel. We are a community, okay? So comment down below and let's have fun with this thing, okay? You guys take care.